started this party in 2024. Are we a centrist party? Are we a moderate party? We're a non-conformist party, is what we're about, and we're not conforming to the narratives coming out of Washington, D.C., reality show, TV, politics, Olympia, ugly Hollywood. That's what I call Olympia. And our too many representatives, political leaders, they're the stars of their own TV show or their own movie, right? You see them with their kind of stuff. So maybe you should be legislating or not and give us a break. And so we started this non-conformist party in 2024 to just really try to connect people and empower people. So how do we empower people? Well, one of the ways is the way Cascade Parties, we do our association, is some of you might be a member of our Hum Hub. Like we have our own social network that it looks like Facebook, it acts like Facebook, but it's not Facebook. As a matter of fact, every minute that somebody's on our Hum Hub is 1 minute less on Facebook. So that's like, hey, there you go, right? Stick it to them. What we're trying to do. And so you go on the Hum Hub, and so we control it 100%. Okay, it's this app we put on our own server, and so we don't track our users, our members. They're members, really. You join it, and you're a member of the party. We don't track our members. We don't sell information to advertisers. We don't have this algorithm making a profile on you. We're empowering people through social media. So we're using our own social media, this private social media, for people with shared needs and values to get a value out of your time online. One of the joke is if you're wasting your time online, why don't you waste it on the Cascade Party site? Right? Because when you're not wasting your time, because you're working with people with shared needs and values and have a voice, and that's what a political party does. So we don't follow these narratives, and we're not trying to break into the system. We're breaking out of it, and we're doing that with empowering people. And we're all just live with the results of policy, public policy. $7 a gallon diesel, you see that? It's like, wow. And that's a result of public policy coming out of Washington, D.C., policy coming out of Olympia, Washington. We're getting it from both Washingtons, right? And so how are we gonna deal with that? We're just gonna have to take care of ourselves and not wait for somebody to save us. And so that's the whole point of the party, is empowering people and doing something different, a party for the 21st century and non-conforming party. So and so we're getting candidates for the 2026 ballot. One of the candidates is running for United States House of Representatives here in the 3rd District, Antony Barran. And I met Antony. He's I live out on the coast, and so does he. He's an oyster farmer. So it's good that he made it here tonight. So he took his waders off. He's out there in the oyster bed. So he's doing the work. I mean, he does that kind of work. And he has a lot of experience with like starting businesses, growing businesses, and he really understands how, again, like empowering businesses and independent businesses, like where we're here tonight, how to empower and make opportunity for people. Just not only then the business includes the employees, and how people can get ahead. And there's ways to do it, and we can do it ourselves. And we don't have to ask for permission. So that's another part of the non-conformity. It's like we're not going to ask for permission. We're just going to do it. So we're doing it. That's how we're doing that with Cascade Party. So Antony Barran, he's running for United States House of Representatives Cascade Party here in the 3rd District in Southwest Washington. And I'm really happy and honored to have him as our candidate. So ladies and gentlemen, Antony Barran.
Thank you, Krist. It's always on a music stage following Krist Novoselić. I'm sorry to let you down. I'm actually really, what I'm most apologetic about is that somebody like me has to run. And the statement that that makes about where we are as an area of Southwest Washington today. We've seen incomes in the last 5 years increase 14%, but we've seen housing costs go up 52%. We're in a challenged place. We have AI coming that nobody in politics is talking about other than, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's not. It's going to have challenges for us to adapt to it. But what we need in government today, what we need in Southwest Washington, is a pragmatic view that's going to answer only one question. How do we ensure that you get up tomorrow and say, my life is better today than it was before? How do we build a place where one of our biggest exports isn't 18 to 30-year-olds who are seeking opportunity somewhere else? How do we find a place where we can afford to buy first homes before we're 40? And I'm not a politician, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a legislator, I'm not any of the things that politicians and candidates normally are. I'm a business guy who runs a small business that's an oyster farm. In fact, when I was getting ready to come here and I come back from the farm, I actually had to look at all my jeans to see which one had the least amount of mud on it. It's not really authentic, but you probably didn't want to see a guy in mud up here, right? Reminds you of the 10 people outside. And so, I'm not going to talk to you tonight about all the wonderful things that should be happening or would be happening. I'm going to tell you a story very quickly that happened on Tuesday that I think I'll be able to then translate to what that means for here. I live in a small county. We have 24,000 people. We have commissioners. We have a couple of municipalities. We have very low income compared to the rest of the district, similar to Skamania, what they fight. And one of the things that I've been working on for the last 2 or 3 years is trying to educate the local government on what it takes to create jobs. What it takes to create jobs that pay above 15 or 20% above the average income. I'm not talking about the tourist jobs that we have that pay minimum wage. I'm talking about bringing in good and real jobs. And so on Tuesday, I called up, well, the week before, I called up the mayor of Long Beach, the mayor of Ilwaco. I called up our commissioner, one of our 3. You can't put 2 in a room or else it's OPA laws and everything else. So I called up and said, can I have a commissioner at the meeting and then the head of the EDC? And they said, why are we coming to this meeting? I said, because I've got 2 guys who run multi-billion-dollar private equity funds who I've invited to come into our community and start educating us on what it takes to get the investment to build the infrastructure, the buildings, the warehouses, light industrial. Right, one of the guys that's coming in is doing a $50 million project in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Small county, like Cowlitz, right, a little smaller than Cowlitz. And he's going to bring 350 jobs through that with another 500 ancillary jobs. They'll pay between 25 and 40% above the average income in the area, and so he knows how to do it. And so I wanted to sit down with these people, and my goal, whether I get elected or not, is in Pacific County, I want to bring $10 billion of investment to create jobs so our kids don't have to leave, so our people can afford the homes. So we're not just a tourist destination, and we're not an extractive community. Meaning, we land fish, we catch fish, we land fish, we ship them somewhere else. We cut down trees, we put them on trucks, we ship them somewhere else. We want to be able to start creating value-added businesses that leverage the resources we have here, and that needs to happen through all of Southwest Washington. Because if we start adding value to everything we do here, we start creating the jobs that allow us to buy the homes. Home affordability isn't a question of the housing price. And I keep trying to explain to all the local politicians, it's not about the price of the home. It's about how much income you have compared to the price of the home. And if we're not increasing incomes, if we're not creating new jobs, if we're not driving jobs that have long-term stability, the gig economy has taught us we need long-term stability. So if we're not driving those jobs, then we need to do that. And we need a politician who's going to think differently. I brought those people in because I think a congressperson is the CEO of their district. And they have the power to get anybody on the phone. But nobody ever does. And so I'm running to make this district better, to bring the jobs here, to get the infrastructure fixed. Anybody who's been on any of the east-west SRs in our district, it's a nightmare. Try driving to White Pass, right? Try driving 4 from Longview to where I live, right? None of them are great. We end up taking 30 because it's a much better road, right? It takes 8 minutes longer, but it's a better road. Why we're going to spend $17 billion on the bridge to cross the 5 instead of 4 or 5 billion, and then put that money into the roads to make everybody's life safer and happier, I don't know. But that's what we need to do. We need to bring that business focus and that understanding of how to create jobs to this district so that we can build a future for ourselves. And I'm Antony Barran, and I'm running for Congress.